All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Back with another day where I have built a food plan with the app called My Macros Plus to track my calories and my macros for the day. And I do these for myself every day. And at some point, I thought, why not record them and throw them up here on YouTube? Maybe help some other people figure out how to do theirs as well. So if you find this video to be helpful, please hit like on it, maybe even to subscribe while you are already here. I'm going to go ahead and start my recorder now. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And I've already done my entire day's plan, but really what I wanted to talk about today was not so much about the numbers themselves. We'll look at those in a second, but I've talked a lot about in the past how the mentality part of building and following food plans is the actual hard part. Calories and proteins and all that stuff. The math ends up working out the way it's supposed to work out, but the mental part of it is something that can be very different every day, that you kind of have to approach differently every day. So today, what happened was I built a food plan that I was going to follow, and I've got a three-step system that I typically follow. My second step is always, if you've got cravings, then you want to put those cravings into your plan before you build the whole day. So before you do your breakfast, lunch, and all that, basically you want to prioritize cravings just for a lot of people because that helps them stay consistent. It keeps you feeling like you're not depriving yourself and you're actually living life. So today I did have a craving. I don't have cravings a lot of days, and my cravings were some ice cream, and I put them into my plan. I calculated everything like that. And as the day went on, see, I was going to eat it later in the night, probably right before bed is when I had planned on eating it. Well, the way that today went, by the time that 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock ended up rolling around, I realized that I was not as interested anymore as I was when I first woke up and built the plan and put the ice cream on it. So what I did is I pulled that ice cream off, which saved me about 400 calories and a bunch of carbs and fats, and ended up eating like regular food in place of the ice cream, things that are probably healthier. I had some more turkey meatballs, for example. Some days will end up like that. Just because you put something into your plan doesn't mean you have to follow it, right? This is supposed to be a guideline. It's supposed to be something that you can follow, but not that you have to follow. That said, what you want to still do is if you choose not to follow a plan that you've made, that doesn't mean you just abandon following a plan. You still want to have a plan. You just can pivot, right? Or do something differently. But in the end, this still ended up being a fine plan. Let's go ahead and go over it now, but just want to talk about that. It's okay to change it in the middle of the day, but you still want to change it to a different plan. You don't want to change it to no plan at all. That's where things become a problem. Let me turn this real quick. So what I've done here, again, I have a three-step system every time I build these plans, or almost every time. My first step is you put in staples. These are things that are the same essentially every single day. You don't have to think about it. My staples are typically my whey protein drinks. I put those on my pre and my post workout plans. Well, today I chose not to do those. Again, part of the things with being consistent for me is following a plan 95% of the time, like a specific kind of set plan, and the other 5% is still a plan, just not maybe the same that I normally follow. And today is one of those 5% days. So I did not follow step one. Instead, I opted to use the calories from those meals other places. So step two, put in your cravings if you've got any. We just talked about that. I had them. They did not end up staying in my plan as the day went on, but I put them in. And then from that point, you just step three, build your plan starting with the first meal of the day and working your way backwards. So first meal of the day, breakfast. I had power waffles. These are something I haven't had in a while. They're made by Kodiak. I get these from Walmart. They're just frozen waffles. The reason I typically don't eat these is because they're kind of high in fat. So for two of these waffles, it's 20 grams of fat, 10 grams of fat total each one. But today, I just felt like it was going to work, so I went ahead and put those in there. I had 10 ounces of spicy V8, and I know there's the wrong letter on bacon, but that's how I spelled it for some reason. So I had 3 slices of bacon. This is bacon you just throw in the microwave for a minute, and it makes it all nice and crispy. Very low key, but because those power waffles are so high in calories, it ended up being a pretty high calorie breakfast, 631 total calories there, 31 grams of fat, right? Which is a lot of fat. Usually my breakfasts have maybe less than 5 grams, so much different breakfast. For lunch, I had a prima della sliced turkey. I had some turkey meatballs. Actually, I just had one because I was making them, and I was just testing one out to make sure that they cooked correctly. But it's still something I ate, so I put it in there just one turkey meatball. It looks sad. It looks sadder than it actually is. I made some cauliflower today, cooked that, counted that, and then I had the sliced turkey was on a wrap. So that's that there, pretty basic. Now, one of the things to notice about that lunch is notice my fat was down to under 7 total grams. It kind of helped offset all that fat I took in on the breakfast. So, that ended up working out nicely. If I would not have done that, it would have made the rest of my day harder because fat would have started to be less and less available because I used so much at the beginning and middle of the day. For dinner, some pork loin. This is some meat that we threw in that was frozen and then it wasn't. And then we cooked it. So, which apparently is how a lot of meat goes. And then I had some whole grain rice. This is just minute rice. Throw it in the microwave. For snacks, what did I do today? 2 bags of Quest protein chips. I had 20 total gummy bears. I had 1 stick of Colby Jack cheese. I had another wrap, which was fat-free cheddar. And this time I put 5 turkey meatballs on that and some like low-fat yogurt ranch dressing. It's just like a seasoning or a sauce, I guess you'd put on it. Just something different to try. I haven't done that before. So all of that being said and done, here's where we ended up at. So my total calories says 335 total calories remaining. That's underneath my target of 2550. By the way, 2 links going to be in the description down below that will help you figure out what your numbers should be. It's I think all the way at the bottom of the description. It says if it fits your macros or the bigger, leaner, stronger macro calculator. So 335 underneath my target. Now I'm going to whittle that down probably just a little bit by doing something like a frozen fruit bar. Oops, where'd that? I want the recents. Frozen fruit bar will give me about 60 more total calories and where you at? And 15 grams of carbs, and that'll put me at 275 remaining. And my goal every day is I really just want to be less than 300 remaining, and because I added that, barely got there. Now I still have some room here because I have 275 total calories remaining. If it gets late and I want to snack on something, maybe because I have a lot of fat still available, maybe I'll grab a couple of Oreos, and I think those will still fit into my plan. I'll have to check and see, but a little bit of room there to add something in. I went over my protein, but just barely over my carbs. But again, because my calories ended up being really in a good spot today, just was different. I started with something in mind, and it ended with something totally different. And some days will just be like that. They won't go the way that you think that they're going to go. Now, that's not to say that I'm not still interested in ice cream. I've got my eyes on some ice cream at some point over this weekend, and it'll probably be tomorrow. But today I thought, you know what, don't push it. Just eat some other food, and we'll save it for another time. So, again, the idea here is not to be perfect. It's just to be as good as you can possibly be. Do your best, and that's good enough. Days will change. Days will pivot. If some days you don't want to follow a plan, then screw it. Don't follow the plan. Just make sure that not following a plan sometimes is a part of the overall process, right? You don't want to just say, you know what, I'm not supposed to abandon my plan, but I'm going to today. That's not sticking to a plan. It's okay, though, to say I'm allowing myself certain number of days per month, 3 days per month, to not follow any plan whatsoever. That's actually a planned chaos, and that's okay to do. So, do your best to stick to a plan. That's where what would the right word there be? The results. That's where the results will come in. So, thank you all so much for watching. Again, the app's called My Macros Plus. Link in the description down below. If this was helpful, please hit like on it. Maybe even to subscribe while you're already here. We'll see you on tomorrow's video. Peace out.